Alright folks, welcome to another Legacy League with Jund Nic Fit, Suck Fit, however you want to call it, featuring such classics as Sarkhan Vol, Yuri Master of the Rebu, whatever, Terror of the Peaks, yes, this is a Legacy League, Terror of the Peaks, 2 copies because 1 was not enough, Graded Gargadon, and Shrikmaw. This is my second league playing this deck, and we learned a ton of things in the first one. I missed a line, for example, where I played Titania and I had Gargadon suspended, and on my opponent's end step I could sacrifice 6 lands that I had in play in order to get 6/5/3s in response to my opponent's Oko activation. Andre Labanca, thank you for the follow. And I could have just swung for lethal on the crackback. So you have silliness like that. I'm still hoping that I get to combo kill my opponent by dealing them 16, by playing Terror of the Peaks, sacking all of my permanents, get Gargadon into play, and then swing for 9. Ben Kubisi, I think you for the follow. Oddly enough, we played in the first league, we played against 3 fair decks and 2 unfair decks, and somehow we beat both of the unfair decks, and we lost against the 3 fair decks. One of those being the mirror. Robe Burns, you're one thing, thank you for that follow. But this deck is something else, folks. This deck has been something else. So far, the cards that have seemed the most lackluster are Plague Engineer, and this card, like, I understand why it's there, but like as a one-off, it just feels super random to me. Playing against Malimujo. Death and Taxes Expert, also Delver Expert. Seems like an okay hand, let's keep it. We don't have a way to sack the Explorer, which sucks, but I can play it on 1 and force my opponent to, well, force it. Go force, which is good for us. I think I'm playing the Scavenging Ooze here, just so I can remain, you know, just putting pressure. Like, Scooz is obviously very good in the matchup, like stopping Arcanist and stuff, but like I need to hit my land drops, and I don't want to expose my land to, like, we basically just have to play into days. Like, we can't play around it, realistically speaking, so. Fuck yeah, we drew Hoodie. My opponent didn't chain Lightning my Veteran Explorer. Big punt. Wavelink 17, thank you for the follow. I wonder if we should just mold this hand. There's no way we're supposed to mulligan this hand, right? Like a black source is just so insane here. Even like a Garbaroth would be sick. Gonna kill my land, sure. There we go. Just get Badlands. This plays into days, but I think it's better to play this than the Hoodie. And here we name it's a Zombie Wizard, right? I think it's a Zombie Wizard. Yeah, okay, so we name Wizard. No, I'm talking about Arcanist. I mean I can't kill this, right? So doesn't really matter too much. All right. So they're playing blue red. Good to know. So what we want to draw here is fuck. So at this point, I feel like we are dead. Gargaroth was our best draw there. Opponent reading Hoodie, Master of the Review. What's going on with Sprite Dragon? Is this like the card that everybody's playing now? Why is everybody running Sprite Dragons now? Like, the card's fucking busted, obviously, but... Are they just not playing Arcanist anymore? Are they just playing, like, 4 and 2 or something? And somehow they always draw the Somehow they always draw the right one against me. Rev sounds great. Collect Roof can go. Veil of Summer is kind of sketch, but potentially can do stuff. Cut one Tour of the Peaks. I want the trophies, want the bolts. Sarcom Ball seems a little bit sketchy against them. Titania seems great. Gargadon seems necessary. Let's just do something like this. I don't think I want that many Veil of Summers. Like I don't think it's that good against. Like you just saw, like Veil of Summer would have been a 1-mana cantrip against my opponent. 1-mana situational cantrip, so probably not where we want to be. See, that's not very good against Delver. Sand is kind of okay against Delver. Go get Snowko Red Forest. Play Veteran Explorer. Sarkhan the Mad is best Sarkhan. I mean, that's a sentence. So I'm gonna go with Cabal Therapy, I think. Can protect it with Veil of Summer. And I think that we name either Arcanist or the other thing. I think I'm more afraid of the Arcanist, because we don't have an answer to the Arcanist. Ding, 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 ding. And now swing for 1. And we take the Sprite Dragon, I think. They don't have Brainstorm. Get a black source and I think a green source. We have to assume that this Badlands is going to get wastelanded because my opponent has a waste there. So I guess we want to have access to double black over double red. No, actually we want to have double red. We have more red cards than black cards. So it's basically Tour of the Peaks versus Kalitas. Gonna go with double red. They are all equally forgettable. Yeah, the Sarkhans have not been... They haven't had it easy, I'll say. Sprite Dragon. Suspend, let's go. So they have had a draw step and this ponder. Misty. I think I'm cycling this Veil of Summer. Another Gargadon. Perfect draw. Exactly what I was looking for. Am I afraid of Daze? I'm just gonna YOLO this. Don't Daze me, bro. Sweet. Who's got the 3-2 with evasion now, huh? Who's got the 3-2 with evasion? They could have fetched off the ponder and they didn't. So that's interesting. Also, they could have wastelanded and they also did not. Curious. They also put 2 cards on top. What's their hand? What the hell is their hand? Got him. Suspend another one of these. Let's go. Fear better than flying, prove me wrong. If you say so. Guess I don't want to have 6 because if they attempt to kill my land, I can at least sack it to the Gargadon. This is the one that's coming in the soonest. Evoke. Trigger on the stack. Sack to the Gargadon. Let's go. Hashtag synergy, chat. This is what synergy looks like. In case you were wondering. Just in case you were wondering what synergy looks like. There's your answer. Look at this mechanics. Exactly. You got the daze, you got the force. You don't have it, huh? Interesting. Interesting that you don't have those. We can have a 9/7 coming into play this turn. I think that just taking it easy is gonna be like, it's not like my opponent can kill me, right? Make all the 5/3s, all of them. I will not take any less than all the 5/3s. Should have got the Garg in there. I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna be doing just yet. Electric Crayon, think of the follow. Sprite Dragoon. I want to say that we got this. Kind of feels like we got this. Kind of feels like we got this. Another 4/3. And I guess I don't want to get dazed. So we're gonna use this one once again. Get another 5/3. We're gonna use this one. Get another 5/3. And then this one again. Get another 5/3. Opponent has seen the line. Playing around Echoing Truth like a champ. Veil of Summer did not look good whatsoever. Garg has out of Suspend. I mean, on my upkeep, it was gonna come out of Suspend, and Suspend, like, the ability gives it haste. Like, there's a lot of text here, so they couldn't fit this, but like, actually the Suspend mechanic gives the creature haste when it enters the battlefield. Like, that's just in their rule book, basically. 25 power is good enough. Yeah, it was gonna be 31, but because they were gonna kill my Titania, and then we had 9 more. 29, sorry. Suspend giving the creature haste so damn good. It is, but I mean, I guess it makes sense from a, how should I say it, from like a mechanics perspective. Like, you want to make up for all the time that was waited for you to get your spell, basically. Times are always a hell of a time. Yeah, exactly. I don't think I want another Veil of Summer, honestly. In fact, I kind of want to cut this one. But the thing is that I don't really like any of the cards in my sideboard, so I'm going to have the one Veil just for lack of better options more than anything else. Well, this hand just scoops to Wasteland. Probably not a great place to be against Delver. I mean, this hand's good against Wasteland. Maybe I should be bottom in this Kalitas. Bolt. Getting a therapy. Probably for Arcanist again. Tour Whale, thank you for the follow. We're totally gonna get got by the Sprite Dragon, but I knew it. I fucking knew it. But they have like 4 Arcanist and only like 2 Sprite Dragons, if I'm not mistaken. So in terms of like thinking about the actual numbers, like it's still correct for me to name Arcanist when I don't have a removal spell. Oh yes. Fuck yeah. The perfect card for my perfect mana base. Yeah, they ripped the force. I think that we're just dead. Like, we're actually deterministically dead here. Like, there's nothing we can do to come back from this. Force. And then we just don't have enough time to answer both threats. They also found the cantrip. Yep. Feels bad. Feels bad, man. The Delver matchup feels like it should be okay, but it kind of isn't. Everybody's matchup against Delver is like, oh yeah, my deck is fine against Delver, and then you just lose against Delver. Like, it's just the way the cookie crumbles, basically. Nobody has a good Delver matchup, and everybody that has a good Delver matchup, like, a good Delver matchup is like, you win 55% of the time is a good Delver matchup. That's why Delver is the best thing in the format, right? Alongside Snow. When you beat them, you still don't like overwhelmingly do so. But it's okay. My strategy is to sneak into the loser's bracket. so I can create the most fun content. That's my strategy. So the best draw here is probably going to be like a Veteran Explorer or something like that. Opponents on Dredge. Oh, it could also be Depths. It could also be Bug Depths. We got many options here. We can name Crop Rotation, Sylvan Scrying. Even something like Thoughtseize is pretty defensible. I think I'm gonna name Crop Rot, considering my opponent used one Sylvan Scrying already. Well, we're dead now. In case you were wondering, that was a good top deck for them. Caracas of the top one time, please. Caracas. We can't even buy a turn. Like we could buy a turn if we could like Plague Engineer for. This kills non-black creatures. Merit Lage is black, by the way. Before anybody says like, oh, but why didn't you evoke Trick Mode? Like this is black. Okay. Veil of Summer, Necromancia, Magus. This is bad for the reasons I just explained. Black and Indestructible, yeah. Twice the reasons for that to be a bad line. Excuse me? I would like to have that Merit Lage, please. Thank you. Please and thank you. I hadn't thought about that. That's awesome. Scavenging News can go. Oof, it's like okay. I still don't understand the point of this card, honestly. Like if you randomly draw it. Nah. If you randomly draw it, maybe you get to like combo kill or something. That's the idea for this dude. Seems a little bit sketch. I do imagine that if you do manage to make this work, you're gonna feel like $1 million. So I'm definitely gonna say that. I'm definitely gonna say that. You probably feel very, very good if you manage to pull that off. Engineer pretty good against Vampire Hexmage and pretty good against the other guy, the Ole Rad Invitational. I think I want to make sure that I can turn to Engineer in case my opponent plays one of the two cards that I just mentioned. Well, that's interesting. I think that I'm still gonna Plague Engineer, naming Vampire. That of course kills Vampire Hexmage before they get to activate it. Bujuga Bog. You got me. So we're gonna name Crop Rotation first and then Sylvan Scrying. Got him. Swing for 3. And now, do we name Not of This World or do we name? I mean, Thoughtseize doesn't do anything, I guess, right? So same thing with Vapor. So we just name Not of This World. Definitely getting snow covered, forest, and I guess swamp. Not of this world. Boom. Nice hand. I mean, to be fair, there's like, they just have 1 decay, they kill this, and we're in trouble, but... Didn't even get meme prices. What are you talking about? Deck's great. Can we draw like a Titania, please? Just another land. Even Field of the Dead would be okay. Titania or Zenith is what we're looking for. That sucks. Even before my opponent top decks freaking Thespian Stage on the last possible turn, they're gonna top deck Thespian Stage right here. Or Crop Rot. Vampire Hexmage resolves. It's probably like a concession. One, two, three. So they have to block here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Okay. Into it. Into it. Yes! Sarkhanvol wins! Any thought on Holy Land for Thoughtseize? Yeah, maybe. Maybe the bluff was worth it. In that specific situation, yeah. I don't really like value that kind of bluff too highly. But in that specific situation, it makes a little bit more sense. God damn it, this mana base. I should have a I can't cast my spells counter going on or something, you know? I mean, I guess I keep this. Because I feel like it has happened way too much. When I'm just looking at a hand and like that hand just doesn't, like I just cannot cast any of my spells. Surprisingly, they take the trophy. Like I could lead on Field of the Dead there, but if I top deck another trophy and then I cannot cast it, I'm gonna feel very silly, so... Got me. Imagine they take the Plague Engineer. We're gonna top deck the Veil after we got discarded on turns 1 and 2, you know? Like, I can just feel it. Crop Rot. Oh, Sylvan's Crime. Okay. Game Thespian stage. So that means that they have depths in hand already. That means that they have depths in hand. So I think I'm gonna therapy naming either Crop Rotation or Sylvan's Cry, and I think I'm gonna name Crop Rotation, and that's like hoping that, you know, my opponent doesn't have actual depths in hand. Okay, so we are in trouble. They don't have the mana just yet. They don't have the mana just yet. And we can still find Assassin's Trophy off the top. And we could be fine. Necromentia would have also been a great draw there. Necromentia would have also been very, very, very good, but, you know, we're not lucky like that. We're not lucky like that. The good thing is that, like, this Safekeeper doesn't do anything, because my opponents, if they want to go for Metal Age, they have to use literally every single land. My opponent should probably main phase. Caracas. Sick. I guess I should have attacked with you first and then play the Caracas. That was a mistake on my part. Okay, now they have a land that they can sack to the Safekeeper, which is bad for me. Another Safekeeper. So now we have to draw... Just have to draw something else. Maybe another trophy. Yeah, we're just dead now. If they go for it, obviously, right? It's not a guarantee that they will go for it. That seems like they're going for it. Seems to me like they might be going for it. Fuck, man. Well, I'm dead. So close, so close. We've been so close every game. But just like we didn't draw anything, or our mana didn't function, or something like that always happened. Which is pretty disappointing. So this is bad against the Source of Plowshares deck, but I think that they're more discard spell decks than Source of Plowshares decks, so... Underground Sea, Ponder. Choose to not shuffle. What do I think my opponent is up to? We'll see which lands they get. If they get Island and Swamp, I'm gonna go get a Collector Roof. Okay, so they are probably playing some form of... They're probably playing some form of Snow. So I'm gonna have to do better with my Green Sun Zenith. I put them on Doomsday as well, but when they show me the basic force, like obviously now they're gonna have exactly an Oko. So we're gonna need this Zenith to basically find the Titania. So we can kind of combo kill my opponent. It's pretty sad. And we do get owned by Dead of Winter, by the way, but I don't think that we can realistically play around it, so I don't think that we will. They're holding up Hardcast Force. Sad face. This gets me a little bit closer to field, so even if I draw a land, which would be probably still a bad draw for me, at least I can get a little bit of value from it. But we're probably just gonna get Hardcast Forced here, or Force of Negation. Yep, there we go. Wait, why would you not Hardcast? Like I'm literally tapped out. So I got a free Yoko out of the deal. Sounds good. That's in a row. Well, if we draw Titania, we're gonna be in really good shape now. So there's that. Which is not nothing. It's not that much either, but... Holding on to the land, because we can use it to trigger field. Things are not looking great, but we're kind of just like one card away from turning the corner, so... Cabal would be nice. Wouldn't do that much. Like, my opponent has 5 cards in hand, right? So Therapy would not be like game breaker or anything. Particularly my opponent having access to wood on next turn if they find any way to put something in the yard. 1 card away. Like, if one, as I said, if one Titania resolves, we actually win, right? Which is the point that I'm trying to make here. Ha! You can't tap that for mana. Got him. Yeah, they tapped poorly. Now they don't have green mana. Hashtag sequencing opponent. They could have gotten Uro back this turn, and now they basically time walked themselves a little bit there. Okay, now that we drew this lightning bolt, I think that maybe we cannot come back anymore. We might actually be just dead now. Hey, Life Red. Hello to you as well. How are things going over there in Venezuela? I actually lived with a Venezuelan for 1 year while I was in school. We only have 3 lands that have the same name, and we managed to find them. Unfortunate. So my opponent gonna get back Uro. Maybe they're digging for a force. And they want to visit a couple of parts of South America. There's some very pretty. There's some very pretty spots down there. Strongly recommended for anybody. So I guess my opponent's not playing red. They might still be playing 4 colors and just have like blasts in the board or something. Buenos Aires looks like a great city. Yeah, Buenos Aires is nice. Patagonia is also very nice. Patagonia is usually the place that I tell everybody about. Like if you're gonna go to Argentina, you probably should go to Patagonia. It's just nice. It's just very nice. Decay my oof. Suck it to Gargalon. Did I study at Berkeley? Yeah. Graduated in 2012 or 2013. Man, COVID has kind of completely fucked my sense of time. We can go down to 1. Doesn't seem too good. Can also Caracas the Leopold. Seems like necessary. Suspend 10, 3/3, like, yeah. It's basically the rules text in Greater Gargalon. Why are they not getting back Uro? I mean, it has to mean that they're holding force, right? I'm just done with this game. Let's just move on to the next one. Plague Engineer don't seem particularly great here. I guess Rikmo is okay. It doesn't kill Leo, but it kills Elks, it kills... and it's just a 2-for-1. Plague Engineer kills Snake, so I still want a couple of them, but like I don't think I want the full 4 copies. And once again, this card I just don't understand. But I guess that this card wouldn't have been bad at that point. So I guess it's fine. do Bayou. Let's go get driver. How was the experience? Do you think going music is necessary to extend as a musician? I'm at that spot right now, also drummer. Oh, nice, Lobarto. No, it's definitely not necessary. It's definitely not necessary. I think it was awesome. I thought it was an incredible experience, and I'm super, super thankful that I was able to do it. Do I think it's necessary? Very far from it. I think it was great though, and I strongly recommend it. Sarkhan time. Sarkhan time. Play your shitty walker, and it will get forced and you will be sad. See, if I hadn't gone to music school, I wouldn't be able to come up with songs just like that. Composers that went to Berkeley for guitar and movie score comp. He loved it. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in there. Lots of good stuff. He isn't even music anymore, but love this time there. Yeah, it's kind of an incredible experience. Just being there, you know. Meet a lot of cool people. Had to leave their first league. We beat the combo decks, lost against the fair decks. We're kind of keeping that tendency going here. I guess I'm gonna sin it for Ewit. Let's get Badlands here. Just gonna sin it for Eternal Witness. And I guess we get back the Sarkhan, huh? We could also get back the land since we have two 5-drops in hand, but just like getting the Planeswalker that, you know, that threatens to do stuff seems better. Just more value. Where I sink is Sarkhan Vault to close in time by Semisonic. That is correct, Scott. Good catch. Good catch. You have a very keen ear. Well, fuck. I'm having trouble seeing the point of Sarkhan. It actually came up a couple of times where you just get to steal their thing. I think I'm gonna do this. Like we can steal the Reb and Oko. This library is gonna be really tough to beat though. They might have 4s here. They don't. Okay. Sarkhan's there for the dragon synergies now. You have to like you have Greater Gargadon, so you steal their creature and then you Gargadon it away. It actually came up a couple of times. Why Legacy? Where is Modern? Am I not allowed to play whatever the fuck format I want? Do you want Modern content? Dude, you have like probably hundreds of hours at this point. Many hundreds of hours. Like I like to play Legacy. What do you want me to tell you? I'm gonna play the format that I want to play because I have fun doing it. on every Wednesday I play Legacy. There's not 100 live hours of Modern. I mean, that's true. They were live hours of Modern at some point. Yeah. They are X live hours. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I stream because I think it's fun, right? Hopefully other people also think it's fun, but I put a lot of value into making sure that I have fun while I stream, because when you don't have fun while you stream, that's when it becomes a chore, and when it becomes a chore, that's when you start hating yourself, and I really don't want that to happen with my streaming. That's a Leopold. Previously live hours. Why Legacy or not Frontier after Astro Rim? Good questions. Number one, for Frontier is a bad joke. Number two, unfortunately, Astro Ren is banned because I guess it's not banned. That's not what I mean. Astro Ren is like bugged. That's the word that I was looking for. Astro Ren is bugged, so I have not been playing Astro Ren for a really long time at this point. Which is really unfortunate because obviously Astro Ren is busted, but Swords to Plowshares, wait until I make... Okay. This seems fine to me. There's definitely different being able to participate in chat, but I love watching you play Legacy. It's just, like, you get to do silly stuff, like, right? Like, what we're doing today would not be really possible in Modern. Also, what my opponent's doing today would not be possible in Modern either, but it's kind of possible in Modern. Honestly, I've been considering getting into Legacy. Thanks to your content, so keep streaming. It's cool. Oh, there you go. I'm having a good time. Adrelax having a good time. Why wouldn't I stream Legacy? How can the deck be bugged? Slide just doesn't trigger. No, it doesn't let you stack your triggers. So I wanted to like precisely make a build of Astro Ren comboing with what's the name of the card? Containment Priest. But unfortunately, you can't really do that because it's bugged. What am I doing here? Am I just playing a Shriek Maw? I don't want to expose the Titania. When I play the Titania, I want to make sure that I can hold up Reb. I think I'm gonna just hard cast this guy. Did I play any of the vintage mana traders? I am not really interested in vintage. Like I could, but I'm not experiencing the format, and like it's just really time intensive to play mana traders, so. Three-two fear, more like 4-3 fear, so you can fear it even more. You can be really, really afraid of this guy. Swords to Plowshares. Oh no. One is looking for stuff. They're probably looking for Udo. Shit like that. We can ult this Sarkhan, but just keeping the Sarkhan in play seems kind of great because my opponent basically can't play Aurora, because otherwise I just steal their Aurora and I just attack them with it. Let's go with Titania. Joey France, thank you for the follow. Who said that they didn't know what Sarkhan Ball was all about? How do you like this? Sarkhan completely taking over this game. Sarkhan has looked excellent here, honestly. Yeah, and like, it's very likely my opponent has like Abrupt-Decay shit in hand, and it just doesn't matter, because exactly, it's just like 4 mana Walker, baby, let's go. 4 mana Walker. Let's go. Down to 1. You're beating on Snowko, so that's enough for me to follow. Thank you, thank you. Wait a second. I think this is fine to let them do. I'd forgotten that I had like resized this thing so it's a little bit more legible. There. Terror is unkillable now. 5 mana Fire for Dragon, like just completely busted. Steve Stifler, thank you for that follow. Man, Sarkhan is just the nuts. Just came down, took over completely. Ewit, get back Sarkhan. This deck is just hilarious. That was me. I've gone from not knowing why Sarkhan is in your deck to not know why anything is in your deck. That's fair. Most definitely a fair assessment. Can't really argue with that. I like cast 5 mana Haymaker as part of this deck more than the silly Gargadon things part. I mean, silly Gargadon things is pretty hot too. I really wish we had access to... I think our best draw right here would probably be Cabal Therapy. Is there a quick TLDR how Astral Run is bugged? Yeah, it just doesn't let you choose how you stack your triggers when you exile a bunch of things, right? So the whole point was Astral Ren plus Containment Priest. This was my latest list, which I tried in like 1 or 2 leagues before I realized that it was bugged. So you exile Containment Priest with Astral Drift, and then you exile all of your opponent's creatures. Then what you do is you get back your Containment Priest, and then you stack the triggers in the proper order, and you get back Containment Priest, and then you get back your opponent's creatures, so they get exiled forever. But when you exile your own stuff in order to get value, you want to stack these creatures to come back and then the Containment Priest, and you can't do that. So like the engine is kind of by default just bugged, and you can't do anything about it because it just the triggers get stacked at random. So like there's just nothing you can do. but under normal circumstances, you should be able to be the one choosing how your stuff triggers, like how your stuff stacks. Astrolabsa is the Orion. I need to see. I'll show you later, Kevin. I can show you in between games. What am I doing here? We don't have a sack outlet. I don't want to expose this ooze until I can make sure that I'm at least eating. I think we just pass actually. This stack triggers and medical value should be more functional. I mean, it's not a button. It is just we had the same issue with amulet triggers in the past, and they fixed it for amulet triggers, but they did not fix it for this. I think I want to rep this. Udo is fine. Now it gives me something to eat with the scavenging ooze, which is what I wanted to. I wanted to make sure that this ooze gives me some value. And with my opponent missing land drops. So I would love to find any untapped land, I guess. That would be my best draw. Alternatively, we could have a Cabal Therapy. Veteran Explorer does not quite do it. We need to find an untapped green. Brutal. So my opponent's gonna get to put Uro into play, which obviously is very bad for us, but hopefully they get Uro and they don't have removal for the Scoos. And then we get to trophy plus eat it. There's Uro. Choose to not shuffle. So we play Explorer. We just sack both of these dudes. So let's play this. Then let's play this. Then we suspend. Sack this guy. Just gonna go ahead and force my opponent to have some shit. Got him. Have another force. Pitching Uro. Okay, so how are we killing this Uro now? They're going down to 1 card, so that's the good part about this. We get 2 more mana. So we just Eternal Witness for... No, we just don't have enough. Yeah, we just don't have enough. So my opponent's gonna get in 1 Udo attack, which is pretty bad for us. But could you put the Azure with Cyber again for a second to screenshot that sauce? Yeah, Yellow Pardo, I can do that in between rounds. Let me finish this this game real quick. We're already in game 3, so let's finish this game up, and then I can show you that. Okay, pass the turn. We both have a shit ton of mana, and I have 2 very powerful cards in hand, plus the Gargadon, but my opponent has an active Udo. We have very good draws. We have very, very good draws. Oh, cool. Okay. They need to find exactly force of will. Shame elemental tokens don't have haste. I'm pretty sure we can figure out a way to work things out. Please don't have found the force. Sweet. One, two, three, four. So let's fetch. And I think I'm gonna Zenith. Now that I know that my opponent doesn't have, I am just gonna Zenith for 3, get Ewit, and we're gonna get Rev. And I guess we just rev the Yoko. We can also rev the Uro, so my opponent doesn't get to draw cards. I think I like revving the Yoko. So now they need like an actual answer to this Titania. Sack this. Like this is not an actual answer to the Titania. In case you were wondering, this is not an actual answer to the Titania. Unless they also have force. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll probably sack 1 more. Yeah, sack 1 more land. Go all in. If I lose to Drowning, to Dead of Winter, like there's no reason for me to lose to Dead of Winter. Like I can beat it because of the Titania. So why would I put myself in a situation where I straight up lose to a card that I can beat? It just makes no sense whatsoever. They can Uro into exactly force, but like they don't have the force, obviously. Otherwise, like we would not be playing this game right now if they had force the Titania. So they need to find exactly force here, or I guess like brainstorm into force or something. They've used 2 forces so far. We also have the Gargadon coming up. We found Oko. We found Oko. That sucks. Oh, Leovold. Yeah, that one doesn't matter too much. Snow's classic enemy, the clock. Yep. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have Fetchable, so I guess that we get Verdant Catacombs. Yeah, that one sucks. That one sucks. That one sucks. I guess this time I do have to YOLO into Dead of Winter. Alright, show me Dead of Winter. Show it to me. Okay. If we attack with everything, opponent blocks here, blocks here, blocks here, blocks here. 3, 2, 3, 4. 3 get through, that's 15 damage. So I guess we just pass. No, it's not a good draw. If we draw our own Caracas, we're in very good shape. Zenith. That's very good. That is more 5/3s. Now we get to attack all creatures at them. So they trade, block, trade. and 2 make it through. So I guess we should attack Oko with everything, huh? That just clears the Oko. So they get Udo back here, which is obviously a problem. Fuck that card, man. Just have basic swamps. Yep, just like most Wednesdays, we're legacying a little bit here. So we want to draw like a Reb. That's an interesting play. This Zenith does literally nothing. He gets Veteran Explorer. Questing Beast. I'm just gonna make like a huge Zenith and see what my opponent does. Zenith equals 7. Get Veteran Explorer. Go. Just gonna lose to this fucking Aura, man. And now we play Terror of the Peaks and my opponent elks it. Sounds great. This is fun. This is pretty fucking fun. Tell you that much. This is a great time. Shift instead of some beasts that are legacy green tools for fight Oko. I am aware, yeah. I know. I am known for playing silly creature decks in this format, so. Oh, that was fun. Force of Will. Interesting how my opponent did not play the Sylvan Library because it would trigger a lot, which means that it would hurt their time. That's how you know that my opponent is it's a legacy, a moto legacy player, because they knew to not play the library there. Swords to Plowshares. Feels bad. We literally ran out of targets for Greens and Zenith. To be fair, towards the end we just drew horribly, right? Like this card would have been fine. Drawing this, I guess, wouldn't have been great, but it would have been okay. This would have been fine. This would have been fine. Even Plague Engineer would have been better than what we drew. But in the end, it's just like, you know, you cannot beat Udo. Like, that guy is just not beatable. My opponent had the force to protect it on the key turn. Like in the key turn where I was killing my opponent's Udo and I had the chance to eat it, my opponent forced my Assassin's Trophy, and then everything just went downhill from there. Yeah, this should be the bigger mid-range deck, but it just isn't, because like Oko just doesn't care about any of these cards, which is unfortunate. Historically, Nic Fit like wants to play against the control decks, but I like right now it just feels like the control decks are doing more powerful things than this deck. I lost to Oko, not Udo. I lost to both. They go hand in hand. I did lose. I think that Oko was more important than that, but I think that Udo happened earlier, and Udo drew my opponent into Oko. Like Udo happened like 3 times before the Oko came down. And if I had been able to deal with the Udo, then I would have had time before the Oko came down and took over. It's amazing how Titania's busted tokens only trade with the Elks. Yeah, I mean that's the only other thing though. My opponent did have Dead of Winter, so if I could have gone all in and then just get wrecked by the Dead of Winter, but I don't know. Like it felt like I shouldn't. It's weird. Okay, Sand's not the worst. It's not great either, but playing against Prismatic Beast. Okay, another Oko deck. Buckle up, folks. It's gonna be another long one. It's gonna be another long slugfest. I wonder if they plow my Veteran Explorer. Okay, they can't. Oh, okay. So I guess I assume that they are playing Blue Red Delver. Vista is a weird one. Tundra. Oh, it's the Mentor deck. Okay. The silly Mentor Arcanist deck. Well, gotta kill that guy because we can't beat it. So gonna go get Red Ivor here. Opponent's down to one card in hand, but they have an active Arcanist now, so gonna name Wizard. Honestly, everything has been cliche for a year, but it's not wrong. Yeah. I think that Legacy could definitely use a revamp. Like, this card is fucked up. Like, this is probably offender number 1. I think that this... I don't understand how this card is legal. That is far and away the most egregious offender. Like, this card fucking sucks, man. Wait, what? They declined to search? Oh, so I guess that means that the top of their deck was very good. Don't have a 3-drop on top, please. Monastery Mentor. We couldn't play around the counterbalance, right? Like, it was clear that my opponent knew what was up, but like, we just couldn't play around it, right? Because like, we just don't have the mana. Like, we just have to jam into it because there's nothing we can do. At least they probably don't have it 4, but if they have a Source of Plowshares, I think that we probably just back it in here. Oko isn't actually bannable. I mean, it goes. I mean, like, ban talk is just so subjective, man. I mean, it's just a matter of what do you consider to be bannable? Do you value like the health of the play patterns? Do you value, like, what do you value? And if you are thinking about, okay, I will only ban cards for power level reasons, like I don't care about like play patterns and whatever, then yeah, probably Oko is just fine. Like, it's just something that we're forced to deal with. But it kind of is what it is. But it just fucking sucks, man. Like, it's just so miserable to play against Oko. I don't think there's any. The only card that is more miserable to play against than Oko is probably Arcanist. So Arcanist is the most egregious one because it should be banned for both power level reasons and also because of the other thing. Like, Arcanist basically touches on both issues. Power level is too high, and also it is just miserable to play against. Kalita seems kind of medium here. You have Drehor, you have to hit Snow, so you have to hit Urum. Well, the Planeswalker can be really powerful and easy to attack down, like Karn, Jace, the Fairy, but no Oko, so that's part of why I hate it. Yeah, I mean, I think that Oko is the worst designed card, probably in the history of the game. Probably, yeah, I think that saying in the history of the game might be a defensible statement, honestly. It feels kind of reasonable for me to say that. Worst? What was a worst design card? Like, barring Alpha, right? Like, Alpha doesn't really count because like they actually had no idea what they were doing. So like, Alpha obviously doesn't count. So like, ignoring like Black Lotus and like those cards. Like, Tolarian Academy is maybe like Tolarian Academy is the only one that I could maybe consider to be close in egregiousness. Skull Clamp. Skull Clamp is a lot easier to deal with than Oko. Volcanic Island. Treasure Cruise is very bad design. So I think I'm gonna go Plague Engineer. Of a Bayou. So we're gonna start here. Obviously my opponent's gonna have to counter this. So otherwise we just 2-for-1 their Sprite Dragon, which is great for us. So they're gonna have to counter this somehow with force. That's fine. Now we attack with Explorer. We sack to the Explorer. We get a black and a red source. And we evoke Shriekmaw. I guess that we can just bolt this. I think I actually like bolting that better. Place around Daze. And then next turn we can even like hardcast the Shriekmaw if we want to. DRS is pretty well by design. Yeah, I mean, granted, there are a lot of really bad designs over the time, but Lura's post companion nerf is fine. Yeah, I think it's okay. Counterbalance. Did I play a lot of the Lures metagame? Yeah. Both in Legacy and in fact, my best results in Legacy are doing the Lures metagame. Except I was playing Yorion instead of Lures. It was fun though. Savine's Reclamation. Oh, that's a great fucking card. Tell you that much. That is a great fucking card. Don't reveal the Force of Will. Lures mirrors were very skill intensive. Yeah, Lures mirrors were fun. And we are ahead, chat. Let's go. The blind flip. I guess I should have. Yeah, I guess I should have trophied that in response. I completely blanked. I was. If you played anything but Lures decks, you probably had a shit time. Sirda decks were fine. I did pretty well with Sirda decks. And I did pretty well with Yorion decks. Was that better than playing Lures decks? No, but I did well with it. So this is kind of a bad Assassin's Trophy because my opponent next turn can just Savines this and this back. But I just want to make sure that I can resolve this Titania. And if they minus on the Shriekmaw, we can sack it to Gargadon, I guess. Oh, they bounce on Astrolabe. Good place. Waiting for them to flip it and drop. Yeah. At least it would be pretty fucking exciting. So I think I am attacking face, flashing back therapy, naming force. That's kind of hot. We're gonna name force with Cabal Therapy, and then we're gonna Titania. Of note that Teferi stops my Gargadon nonsense. Gotta be mindful of that. So we have to wait 5 cards. So we have to stop by killing the Teferi. So that we don't lose our Gargadon in the process. Probably gonna plow in response. Suck a land. Suck a land. Three 5/3 sounds, I guess, about right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This doesn't fetch anything. So they have 6 mana. If they flush back with Savines, they don't get to mentor. So this seems fine. Cast this thing. Oh, they don't care about the life, so I'd rather just take a counter off the Gargadon. Okay. Kind of shows they didn't plot a trick move before you killed the fairy. They're trying to do mentor things. They're trying to go around me with mentor. They have Daze and Force of Negation. But only 2 mana. 2 unknown cards. Counterbalance. This is a blind counterbalance. Yeah, let's just pack it in. They know that I'm just like attacking with everything and they're just forced to chump. I mean, Gargadon is a fucking 9/7, right? This is just a stupid 9/7. Veil, Red, Bolt. Maybe Sarkonvol can go. Can bring in Terror instead. Even this guy seems kind of defensible. Well, let's just do this. Gargadon really need trample. Yeah, honestly, like it's a 9/7. Like How has sort of the peaks been for me? It's been okay. Like it's been fun, but like it didn't. Like the idea is that you get to combo your opponent with by sucking a bunch of shit and just like out of nowhere you play terror. You get like your Gargadon and then you kill them on one shot. But it hasn't happened for me. Like not a single time we were able to leverage that. It's been fun though. The thing is that you spend 5 mana on a 5/4 and then your opponent just plows it, right? And it's just like, well, that's that. So it hasn't been particularly effective. Tundra. So I think I'm gonna Gargadon on 1. Nic Fit can't play anything. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the deck's motto, right? This is just like a pretty cute approach. It's a pretty great draw. It's kind of exactly what I wanted. Seems like a good deal. So we definitely want another red source and we want a black source, I guess. So mountain and swamp. My opponent gets their basics, obviously. It's not the end of the world. Things like our basics going to be better than their basics. They also just wasted a plow on... They basically discarded a plow for no reason, which is pretty great for me. Sprite Dragon. With that trigger on the stack, I'd like to bolt your Sprite Dragon. And now I'd like to counter your counterbalance. Sweet. Things seem to be working out just fine. Ewit get back Rev sounds pretty solid. Their turn plow into ramp. Yeah, ramp for me. I kind of want to hold this Zenith to go get the Protector of Argoth. So I could have gone like an Explorer there, but like it's just so much better to just naturally draw the Explorer, right? You know what I'm saying? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. What format is this? This is Legacy. Wonder if we can play a position agent to really go ham a veteran explorer. That would be kind of hot. It's probably not great though. Want to put 2 cards on top. I think I'm gonna draw first. Another Zenith. Okay, I think that we're looking good now. Another forest. Another red source. We want to make sure that we fetch before Titania so we get one more land into play. One, two, three, four, five, 6. Opponent needs double force here. Or force plus days. Like some combination of stuff. Titania, Protector of Argoth. I wonder who Argoth is, right? Plow. Let's get that one. Let's make it 5-3. Let's also make that one and make another 5-3. I mean, I guess we can just play this right now. Seems pretty good to me. Just play 9-7. I would like to cast my silly 9-7, please. Get a land. Sweet. Swing for 9. We have another plow. Infinite plows. Terminus in 3-2-1. They don't have Terminus. We played this deck last week, or maybe the week before. I can't remember at this point, but I don't think that they have Terminus. The Fairy seems pretty revable. Force of Negation. Sure. So they're gonna bounce one of the tokens. Then they're gonna plow another one, and they just hope. I mean, I guess they could have plow number 4. If they have plow number 4, we're actually in a little bit of trouble. I mean, I guess that we can go get Drydiver and we can just block with Witness plus Arcanist, so it's not even that bad. Just gonna send 1-1. They don't have Astrolabe, so their mana is kind of rough right here. Maybe they don't have a second Tundra. I think I'm just gonna Scene it for Scavenginus. Wow, really? Plow number 4. Well, good job, opponent. You're better than I am. You are better. So they're kind of gonna be forced to getting back some plows. So I think I'm playing around Sevin's Reclamation here. Because like I can't stop my opponent from having Swords to Plowshares. Casually chilling at 35. Don't mind me. Attack for 7. Black 2, 3, Gonna name Wizard. Hardcast Force. Oh, we top deck the Rev. Feels good, man. Wizard. No Arcanist for you. Unless they find an answer, obviously. Which they could. Wow. Somehow we got there. What is the phrase? By the teeth of our... The what of our teeth? The something of our teeth? Anyway. I mean, to be fair, every single matchup has been close. The skin of our teeth. There you go. Thank you. Chat's got my back. I knew the chat was gonna be taking care of that for me. Can we get another 2-3? Is that too much to ask? The classic 1-3 versus 1-3 versus 0-2. A tale as old as time. Oh, fuck. Damn it. Yeah, this is Storm. Good old Ant. Good old Ant. We beat Ant in the very first round of the previous league, so... It's probably Doomsday. It could be either or. That sucks. Opponents missing land drops. I don't think I'm going to be giving them mana for now. Oof. Scavenging Ooze, something like that would be great. Just a blank. It's also okay. Also should have played value. If they have... I'm just gonna say Goblin. So they can't empty me. Nobody plays empty anymore, but I'm just gonna say Goblin. Three mana 2/2, baby. Let's go. 1 mana 1/1 and 3 mana 2/2. We got this. Let's go, guys. We can turn this around. We can turn this around. Just gotta have faith. The hipsterish Doomsday player play Arcanist. How's the experiment going? Not great. Not great. We played a bunch of close games. As you can see, a bunch of close matches. Losing very, very close ones, but we're not doing a lot of winning. Why would they fetch Alan? Because they just have lethal here. I mean, we know it's Storm now. We know this is hand. I guess this is deterministic. Well, it is now. I think it might have been deterministic already before. Mismatching Dark Rituals. That's just disrespectful, man. They're literally scents. They are literally scents. Displaying all of the mismatching arts. Gross. Yeah, I think we were dead when they revealed their ritual. Wait, what? Stream sucking for anyone else? Oh, they're fish. You're hurting my feelings. You're hurting my feelings. Yeah, once you discard, I think that the way that it works is like once you discard the to the what's his name, then you have effectively just changed the board state, so you can't really go back. So whenever there's something that doesn't change the board state, you're fine. Like for example, if you crack Lotus Petal or you exile Simian Spirit Guide or something like that, that's fine. But whenever you crack LED, like some cards are changing zones. So I think that's what makes it different. I'm not a judge. Like I don't know exactly, but I think it has to do with that. What do we got here? Not a good hand. Okay, sounds kind of okay. Like, it's not great, but play Nic Fit pile? Yes. Colby, you're missing out, my friend. Like, we did some silly stuff today. Sacrifice all of our lands to make Titania tokens and then swing. Like, it's been something, let me tell you. It has been something. So we're gonna get a Bayou. And I'm gonna Cabal Therapy Dark Ritual. Oh, they had Cabal Ritual? Unluckiest. The actual unluckiest. You're allowed to, what's the question? Oh yeah, why can't you undo LED? Like you can undo stuff like cracking a Lotus Petal or something, but if you crack LED, like my opponent just didn't hold priority when they cracked LED, so they like discard their hand and then they concede it because, well, they discard their hand. Obviously, they can't win. So you can undo LED. Are you? Yeah, are you sure? I've done it many times. Okay. Good to know then. Forest and swamp. I might be dead here actually. Basically, we're countering anything and everything. But I think that this is just deterministic here. Because my opponent can actually empty their hand. So as long as they don't mess it up again, I think that we're just dead. They don't seem Stony Hearts for nothing. No, for sure. Okay. Cremensha you. And what are we supposed to name? Just tendrils? Because we saw Wish Claw, so naming Infernal Tutor doesn't do it. So I guess we just name Tendrils of Agony. They do have empty. So we don't just win. No, this is not TES. This is Ant. TES plays Burning Wish. Ant does not. And I'm gonna get Drydiver to double up on that clock. Also, they have one more island, so trophy in their thing doesn't do anything. %50 more clock. Even more clock? Jeez. Actually, I had Veil of Summer. Maybe it was correct for me to simply, instead of naming Tendrils, just name Empty. Huh, interesting, right? Maybe I threw here. They did side it empty. I know their deck list because I just Necromantia them. There's one empty, one Pasty Flames. This makes me so happy, chat. Does this make you happy, chat? Is this enough? So we have 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My opponent has Echoing Truth. My opponent has Echoing Truth. In their deck, I mean. Oh, we cast Veil first. That's right, yeah. Don't cast Veil first, that's a huge punt. Please explain. How is playing Veil first a punt? Veil protects stuff already in play. Yeah? Is that how that works? Okay, good to know. I assume that it was. But casting it afterwards also doesn't do anything, right? Because it just goes to my hand. So, like, the question is, do I want a YOLO or do I not want a YOLO and give my opponent one more turn to go for empty, which they can. Which we know that they can because we know their hand is double Cavalry, Lotus Petal, Inferno. In fact, I have no idea why they haven't gone for it yet. I don't think we wait a turn because my opponent is going to be forced to go for it next turn, right? What is the issue? The issue is that I have to go for it. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Why can't you just haste it? Yeah, I'm just saying that we can't play around Echoing Truth. So we know 4 cards out of my opponent's 5, and if my opponent's last unknown card is an Echoing Truth, we lose. No, we have to sacrifice our entire board. We have to sack our entire board. We have exactly enough stuff to sack our entire board. And the only thing that can stop me is exactly 2 Echoing Truths. Yeah, nothing else in my opponent's deck matters. It's exactly 2 Echoing Truths. No, that was after with Inferno Tutor, wasn't it? Oh no, their hand is Decay, Cavalry, Lotus Petal. Okay, never mind, never mind. So they don't have an Inferno Tutor in hand. They have 3 Infernal Tutors and 1 Ad Nauseam. But Ad Nauseam's not going to be very good. So I guess that we're just going to attack here. And my opponent can Luxac. I can limit them on red mana by blowing up the Volk, which is what I'm gonna do. I think I'm just gonna attack and I'm just gonna pass. After blowing up their Volk. And next turn we can Echoing Truth. We can play through Echoing Truth. And this means that it needs to be exactly one of the 3 remaining Infernal Tutor, because it seems like they sided out their Wishclaw Talismans. There's no talismans. And if I blow up the Volk, then Piff doesn't do it either, because they only have 1 red source, so they can't Piff and also get a red source and also cast Empty. Also, tracking Bill of Summer in paper is funny. It sounds weird. Trophy or red source. It's too bad Mono doesn't do 1 giant card anymore when you have 1 permanent. If that was still the case, we should have definitely done it. Abrupt Decay. This seems like a good deal, I think. Okay, now we don't have to go for anything. And they don't have what's his name anymore, so like going for Veil and countering the Abrupt Decay just actually sounds great. Alright, sweet. Well, that was fun. Definitely mistakes were made, but I still don't think this deck is very good. In case you were wondering. Like, it looks fun. It has some weird, ridiculous interactions. So I think that it's doing the legacy thing fine, but I don't think it's very good. It just seems objectively significantly worse than everything else that's going on in the format. And like honestly, with how popular Snow is, I don't know why we're playing for Plague Engineers. Like there are some card choices here that I honestly don't understand, and I don't understand why we have so little Green Sun Zenith targets. Like the fact that we lost one match where we top deck Green Sun Zenith and Zenith was actually the worst draw in our deck, it's just like that just doesn't happen. That's just not supposed to ever happen. Just like, you know, Zenithing, Zenith being the worst draw in your deck should never happen. So I think that 4 engineers might be too much, and this card honestly felt terrible. Like this just did not seem very good. It just seems a little bit too cute. And Turn of the Pigs also was pretty bad. So I think I would cut all 3 of these, and I would play more like green mana options. I don't think I would play Thruktas, but like Gargaroth is interesting, or something like we already have Ooze, we already have Ewit. Questing Beast is interesting. Questing Beast is an interesting one. Tracker is also an interesting one. Like I don't understand how we don't have a tracker in this list. I don't think you want something like Roundup Excavator. Like that doesn't seem like it really does it, but I don't like the Magus. I mean, it makes sense, right? Like you actually need some card for the Depths matchup and stuff, right? Hodan Reef Hydra could be good here. Damn it. They don't work versus Astrolabe decks. I mean, that's not why they're there. That's like saying Leyline is not good against Astrolabe decks. It's like, yeah, it isn't. That's not what it's there for. This is there for mid-late decks. Play Modern. I will be playing Modern tomorrow, Christian. I play Modern every day. Just leave me alone. Let me play Legacy, please. Let me play some Legacy, please. I stream Modern every single day. Give me 1 day for Legacy. 1. You want some moons? 12 posts in the other right. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like there's a reason for this. Choke is good versus Astrolabe decks, but you're missing the point, Jig. Like I don't think that our deck is bad. Like our deck should be good against Astrolabe decks. It's bad against Astrolabe decks because I don't think it's very well built against Astrolabe decks. But this is the kind of deck that naturally is good against Astrolabe decks because it's supposed to be the bigger mid-range deck. The only thing is that it isn't, right? Because we are playing cards that are just not very good. Like these are not very good cards against Astrolabe decks. I don't know why we're playing these cards. So if I wanted to like rebuild this deck, yeah, I'm saying the same thing you're saying, Jay. Both of us were saying the exact same thing. Both of us are saying the exact same thing. We are agreeing. I'm just saying that the deck needs to be better built. Rudic Thar? No, that's just not a playable card. So I definitely want the tracker. Do we want something at 2? Sylvan Library is also interesting. I wonder why we're not playing Sylvan Library. Think your depth matchup is fine? I strongly disagree. I strongly disagree. Clothis, that's a really good one. Yeah, that's a great one. Clothis is just great here. And it's super good against Snow and stuff like that. I think you're missing the point, Jig. I think you're getting too zoned in on like... First of all, I think you're grossly misunderstanding how good the depth matchup is for this deck. I think that it's actually going to be very bad. I think that the depth deck is a lot better than you're giving it credit for. And same thing with Cloud Post. Like, those matchups seem to not be very good for this deck. Someone that matchup is better, I think Magus. And it's as good as it gets with Trophy. I mean, we can agree to disagree. We can agree to disagree. And also, I think, like, already, I think that now our deck is significantly better against Snow. Like, by a lot. Just because we cut 2 Terror Peaks, which make no sense to me, and we added a Clothes and a Tracker. Like, with those 2 changes, I already think that our Snow matchup should be significantly better. Like, by a lot. By so much, it's not even funny how much better our matchup should be against Snow. And even against Delver, particularly Clothes is kind of nutty against Delver. Yeah, Sylvan Library is a card that I literally just mentioned, and it's probably gonna be the card that I add here. Playing a green deck without library just seems, honestly, just seems wrong. But yeah, so this already makes a lot more sense to me as a way to build a deck like this. Maybe even adding more Titanias might be good. And Kalitas, like, what is Kalitas doing in this deck? Is it because hahaha we're a Field of the Dead deck? Like, this is just kind of cute? Like, is that the reason for Kalitas? Suck my Field of the Dead tokens and like grow my Kalitas? Got the Leylands in the side for Crop Rod, Box, and Wasteland. I don't think this is a Crop Rod deck by any stretch of the imagination. Give your combo decks are kind of dead in Legacy. Are you kidding me? We played against like 4 of them today. We played against Storm twice, we played against Oops, and we played against the Mirror. Like, the Leylines were brought in and were very good in 4 out of 6 matches. Like, that seems like a pretty good Cyber card. They are all really bad, though. It doesn't matter. Like, if you're playing the deck, like, that's the same thing as saying that you don't want to play a Coastal deck in the Cyber because, like, the deck is bad. Like, the mill deck is bad. It's just like, yes, it's bad, but people are going to play it. Crop rotation for Bog was nearly just as effectively. I disagree. I would have lost against Oops 100% if I didn't have the ley line and I had the crop for Bog. They're still somewhat rare. Not on leagues. Not in leagues. Maybe 4 Plague Engineers is just too much. Honestly, like, this card was not good in, I don't think, any of the matchups. It was like okay a couple of times, like when we were playing against Arcanist and we kind of blanked it with a Plague Engineer and like stuff like that. Yeah, this could go to the sideboard to make room for something else for sure. Torpor the Cyber might be an idea because it's great against Doomsday, but also DNT and Goblins. I mean, I don't think that we have, with 4 Engineers, I think that DNT and Goblins are kind of covered. I don't think I would devote Cyber slots to that. Torpor Orb is definitely a legit option, but I don't think it's what I would go into. I don't think it's something I would devote a Cyber slot to. And yeah, Goblins is just medium. It's not that good. Yeah, I mean I think that's gonna be it for this league though. Like this deck was fun. I think it could be built better. And I think that these tiny changes already are going to improve the deck significantly. Like, honestly, I don't know why this deck was not playing Silver Library to begin with. It really baffles me. I don't understand why you would not want to have Silver Library in your deck. In your deck that has like a shit ton of like shuffle effects between Zenith, Veteran Explorer, all of your fetch lands. And like you have stuff to do with the cards that you get. Like, I guess that you can't really gain life. Now we have Clothes, like Kalitas maybe, but so maybe there's not, you can probably like draw pay 8 and draw 3, but like that's just so insane. Similar is amazing. You should have a sickle in the cyber. Yeah, it's probably okay. Hey Zeb, how's it going? Glad that you're liking it. Alright, that's gonna be it for me today, folks. But hopefully you enjoyed it. This deck was fun. I had a good time streaming this thing. So I don't think I'll ever play it again, but I like that I was able to play it today. I had a great time doing it. But yeah, I mean, I just didn't feel particularly well positioned against Uros and Okos, which I feel like it's a mistake. So just bringing cards like Sylvan Lavery and Clothis and even Tireless Tracker, they are just great ways of better positioning yourself against the Uros/Oko decks. Because Oko has a really tough time interacting with Library and Clothis. So I think that those very small tiny changes already would help that matchup a lot already. But that's gonna be it for me today. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. I'll see you in the next video, folks. Bye bye.